PMO hierarchy. I just put a really quick example, but you might have, for example, like a company-wide view. You might break it down into portfolios for like smaller companies. Often they have kind of like IT portfolio and then business project portfolio. You have programs, potentially you only have one or two underneath here, and then projects. So this is kind of the basic hierarchy. What we've done here, I won't get too deep into this, but basically what we're doing with a solution diagram is we're saying like, okay, what's your sources? Like, what are the sources of records? How do they integrate with other data? What are the different views that you need and how do they roll up? And then we kind of identify those different personas or roles within your organization as well. So the admin that actually, is maintaining the data and making sure everything's working correctly, the person that's submitting these new ideas, the person that's looking across all the different projects, the person that might be managing a project and what tools they need for that. And this is just another example. Again, we're calling out different dashboards and metrics and things like that. So nothing too crazy here. When we go into a PMO implementation, the initial PMO implementation is this really like this portfolio or program configuration, and that oftentimes is done and it can be done in 10 to 12 weeks, depending on if you already have a system, right? If you already have a process that's adopted, if you already have a template, if you already have a methodology, then really it's just implementing it on the tool, configuring it, testing it, making a couple tweaks here and there. If you don't have that underlying data set kind of in place and you don't have that structure, we need to do a little bit more discovery and really support you in developing those processes. And we know best practices and we've worked with a lot of different companies, so we can provide a lot of recommendations of places to start so you're not starting from scratch. But you as an organization have your own vernacular, have your own vocabulary, and an understanding of things that work and don't work, that we have to kind of incorporate this to really get that buy-in and work through. Depending, it can be really useful to have your project management methodology also built in the same place that your portfolio methodology is in. So projects roll up at a task level instead of just a project status level of like this project is yellow or red, or this project budget is yellow or red, actually being able to dig into the specific budget or the specific project plan or a specific RAID log. And then again, I mentioned like having additional enhancements after it's live. Resourcing can be its own whole ball of worms. So we do basic resourcing capacity planning here, but if you want to get like a lot deeper in planning out, oftentimes you do need to incorporate time tracking, forecasting, resourcing, and that can potentially need an add-on tool depending on what tool set you're on. The prioritization projects and ROI tracking, if this isn't a practice that your organization is already participating in, it's usually something that we recommend after we get an initial kind of time forecasting component done, because that oftentimes plays into this prioritization conversation. And then I think I mentioned earlier this idea that, the PMO oftentimes is like the leader in this space, but once other organizations see that you can manage non-operational work in a very structured way and roll it up, oftentimes they want to be able to overlay the projects that they're working on with other initiatives that their department might have, or other, OKRs or something that their specific department is working on. So anyways, so this was a really quick overview of a project management office and some of the structures that, Echo approaches. So my name is Molly Yanis and I'm with Echo Consulting. We are working with a lot of different companies right now, setting up project management offices, implementing work management systems. And we also offer things like Staffog for project management, business process and transformation services, and all sorts of other good stuff. So if you are looking for help in any of these challenging areas that we just mentioned, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach out via email, you can call or text, you can check out our website that has a contact form on it. Or if you're comfortable, go ahead and set up a calendar. We do a free discovery call. I'm happy to talk through any of your issues. If we're not the right fit, we'll point you in the right direction, and we're always happy to give advice. If you're not yet ready to reach out, we do offer free webinars, and we do have a YouTube channel you can check out with a lot of these types of videos where we're giving some free advice. So I wish you all the best. Happy New Year. Bye.